Yes, sir, it was a most successful mission. We found you the world's most qualified physician.
The man's the finest poker you could choose. The others seem to be fit to lick his shoes.
He's performed the most prodigious cures.
The dead and buried starts to breathe and stirs.
I mentioned he's eccentric just a bit. At times he seems to loosen from his wit.
He likes to play the idiotic goose. At times you think a screw was something loose.
And yet beneath the man is erudite. You ought to hear the words his lips give flight.
Oh yes, whenever notion this man took, we found that he could conjure like a book.
His reputation permeates the land. They all seem to be all scoped and scanned.
How lucky such a man should now appear. Bring him around.
I will let him in here.
Come on, dear sir. He will be like just the other. Don't hurt the girl who doesn't have a mother. Your daughter's not your minion. Please, lend your ears to her opinion. Let her choose a husband according to her taste. Her speech will return without a moment's waste.
That's fine, nurse. No one wants of your opinion.
Still your tongue, you empty-headed minion. This isn't a matter to stick your nose in.
She'll confound all the doctors you bring in. You cannot cure her with a placebo or an aspirin. The only thing the girl really misses is a partner with her kisses.
But who might want her with such foul affliction? Could a husband want a wife without addiction?
Excuse me,
Besides, the girl opposes a chimney-bow.
Because they happen to be dull and drab that even a 90-year-old spinster wouldn't grab. If you'd offer her the young Leander, I'm sure he'd find a way to mend her.
Leander is not so suitable a match. He hasn't got the cash to be a catch.
I hear he will inherit an immense fortune once his uncle dies, which he hopes will happen soon.
There is nothing like possession in the hand to enhance a beautiful wedding band. A fortune that awaits on other leaving might keep the heir weeping and beraving. One would turn blue, were one to hold one's breath while waiting on ancestors' timely death. Remember, nurse, you should never push the girl to choose the bird in the bush. Oh Lord, deliver daughter ever from the man whose cash is always on the tongue.
Well, good sir, if it be told, love and affection cannot be bought by gold. Instead of understanding your daughter's wishes, you seem to be running after ephemeral riches. Our neighbor Peter got his daughter married to Fat Thomas. And look at her marriage now. It is such a mess. Her boyfriend Robin was rejected because he had no land. All her entreaties were neglected out of hand. Her father thought happiness can be bought by fortune. But the poor girl is pining now and looks like a prune. You might let that be a warning to you, master. Or else, you might be the cause of some disaster.
A plague upon you, nurse. My blood is boiling. You keep that up. Your milk will soon be spoiling.
Be quiet then, you hussy. Hold your tongue. Our master knows what's best to fit his young. He needs no taste of nursemaid's foolish petting, so zip your argufying and debating. Let you give suck to young one as your job and don't go about opening your foolish gob. The master is the father of his daughter and knows just what he oughtn't and he ought to.
That's fine. It's enough, my lad.
I wanted to show respect that's due a dad. She ought to have a little more regard.
I understand, but please don't thumb so hard. Ah, sir, I cannot express the fond delight of welcoming a scholar of such height. Your skill must save the child on whom I fawn.
Hippocrates says we must keep coats on.
Hippocrates?
Oh yes.
Where says he that?
He says it in his chapter on the coat.
I see. Then I guess we must.
So doctor, having heard this case discussed,
Whom do you address?
why you?
But I'm not a doctor.
Not a doctor?
No, not at all.
I'm sorry, that's too bad. That's all the training I had.
What crazy sort of man did you admit?
I warned you were somewhat of a wit.
I don't appreciate that kind of joking.
Forgive me, sir, for my imprudent poking.
It's quite all right. Don't say a word about.
Such manners to give host such brutish clout.
Forget.
It really was a nasty hit.
Please.
Which was my great honor to remit.
Please, sir, do not continue. Not a word. I have a daughter of whom you have heard, who's fallen into dreadful malady.
To speak the truth, sir, in reality, I thrill to render service unto you. I only wish all the family too would need my service, that I might have shown the care that I would give, were my affection known.
I'm obliged for that fine sentiment.
I do assure you, every word I meant.
You're too kind.
The patient's name?
Lucinda.
A perfect patient's name. For one who's in the throes
I'll
of...
bring her here now before she get worse.
Who's that fine woman?
Oh, that's my baby's wet nurse.
A juicy bit of crumpet, I must say. Ah, nurse. My doctorship is but the clay to which your nurseship gives shape and form. Ah, would I wear the tot, all snug and warm, who tastes here at the fount of your good graces. At such abundance, my small art abases. Would that my skills might by you yet be known.
Your pardon, sir. Please leave my wife alone.
What? Is this girl your wife?
Yes, that she be.
Such a wondrous joy it is to me. I celebrate your mutual affection.
That's fine, sir. Not quite such strong inflection.
I do delight to see you so well matched. I do commend you two, so well attached. I thrill for her, and risking some redundance, salute you, finding wife of such abundance.
Good Lord, sir. Not so many compliments, I beg you.
You would not place impediments to celebration of how your rare hearts should join in blessed union of fair parts.
Yes, celebrate to your heart's content with me, but not my wife to such extent.
I shall. Know if I clasp you with such honor, I also grasp your lovely wife with such respectful aim to fully know the breadth of
Shame, sir, shame. Enough now of this manner that you've mocked her.
My daughter will be coming soon, doctor.
I wait here with my vast medical resource.
Where is it?
Right in here.
Oh, yes, of course.
My interest, sir, is in all of your aid, and thus I must make test of nurse's milk and see to it her breasts are of a nature.
I'll not be having you to thus engage her.
It's duty, sir, examining the breasts of any nurse.
She will not get undressed.
Audacity! Opposing sword, doctor!
I'll not stand by until you have unfrocked her.
Be off with you, you backwards foolish lout.
I'll not be off, however you may shout.
I might infect you with a wicked flu.
Yes, Lucas, that's enough of that from you. The doctor must conduct his examination. To examine my body is his occupation. If he must some sight of me endure, it's nothing he hasn't seen before.
I don't want him to touch you on my life.
Shame! The rascal is possessive of his wife.
Aha! My daughter, sir! Aha! My daughter, sir!
முழுசா சந்திரமுகியா மாறி இருக்கிற உன் மனைவி கங்காவை பார்.
The invalid?
My only daughter. ये वरे मगर मेरी एक ही बेटी माफी यूनिक ನನ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬಳೇ ಮಗಳು ನಾವು ಒಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆ ಕೂತರು ಎಂದ ಪೊನ್ನು ಮೋಲ ನೀ ಯುನಿಕಾ ಇಹ ಮೈ ಆತ್ನ ದೋಚ್ my only daughter Every mother suffering. Were she to die, my heart would surely break.
What? With no doctor's note? Such a mistake. Such death would be an aberration.
Acha here.
A lovely little daughter. A good, strong man might find a use for her.
You make her laugh.
So much the better, sir. A patient laughing is a healthy sign. So what's the problem now? What now dulls your shine? Where is it that you feel this rude affliction?
Hee-haw,
I don't quite grasp this diction.
hee-haw, hee-haw,
Oh, huh?
hee-haw.
I fear I don't understand. What is the meaning of this conjugation?
That's the nature of her perturbation. We do not know where the illness may come from. But now find the girl struck completely dumb. Until she is well, her marriage is postponed.
But why?
The husband wished she might get better before he might marry her.
What idiot might pass on such a catch? Of wife with no capacity to speak? I would think twice ere a cure I would seek. I wish to God my wife had been so smote.
And yet, let's try to find an antidote.
Don't worry. Tell me, does this give her pains?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Her energy, it drains.
Yes, sir. I've never seen her wearied so.
And does she go, you know where?
Yes, why?
With much fight?
Can't say I know.
And does it look all right?
I haven't any notion.
That's the nature of the motion. Give me a hand. This pulse gives me to understand your daughter is dumb.
Hee-haw.
Yes, sir. That's an affliction.
Aha!
What a sudden, strong conviction.
Great doctors diagnose these things at once, while some other folk might hem and haw for months, suggesting it was this or it was that. But I can see at once and tell you flat, it's evident to me, your daughter is dumb.
I see that, sir. But where does it come from?
It comes from a misfunction of her speech.
I understand, but wherefore comes this breach?
On this point, all our authors agree. Just as the diagnosis came to me, she suffers an impediment of tongue.
From what impasse, though, has she been so brung?
Most likely, it's a trouble with the jaws.
I know that, sir. I'm asking you the cause.
Oh well. Aristotle in this case maintained. Oh well, you know how well he explained.
Of course, I do.
He was such a man.
No doubt he was.
The knowledge he could span. A greater man than I by this much. There never will be one with quite his touch. Where was I? Oh yes, I was explaining the reason for your daughter's power waning. In my opinion, it comes from a humor, and from experience we may presume her debilitation stems from out the gall, a state which comes from humors that we call unhealthy. There are vapors which arise from emission of the influence, which dries from the onset of maladies which satin diseases, you know. You know Latin?
No,
You don't know Latin?
not a word.
Obama! Cabricia sacitrum, catalamus singularite, nominativo, haec musa, the muse. Bonus bonaboremma! Deus sanctus, esne Horatius Latinas? Etiam, yes. Quare, why? Quia substantivo et adjectivum concordat in generi numerum e Cassius. Milisarius?
I've only studied in the College of Arts.
I wish you had his smarts.
You can't even understand a single word.
And so vapors by the humors are so stirred and pass from liver's region on the left on to the right, where the heart is left bereft. It happens that the lungs, which are in Latin, Arbian, send messages as they should flatten to the brain, which you know in Greek is Nasmis. And this messages will speak by virtue of an artery in Hebrew, Kubile. And this will eventually see to the vapors filling ventricles, wailing under the portion of the shoulder blade. And these vapors, please, follow this most closely. And these vapors often carry on the breeze. Please, I beg you, pay your best attention.
Yes.
And this breeze blows the most malign intention which comes from, please, follow this closely.
Yes, please, I am.
It all stems from two big dose. Acidity within the diaphragm forms a concavity which makes the dam, the edges of which then begin to feel loose as nequor, potarinum, quipsa, melisum. And that is why your daughter is now mute.
This doctor knows his business most astute.
The explanation trips off his tongue.
I only wish my clapper was so deftly hung.
A clearer answer could not be provided. But there is one thing which leaves me divided. You seem to place the liver and the heart the opposite of how they are on the chart. I always thought that the liver was on the right and the heart was on the left.
You're most deft. And yet since we have changed all that around, advances that we have made are quite profound.
I'm sorry, sir. I had no idea. Excuse my ignorance.
Oh no, sir. These new concepts have taken us quite far. You can't be quite clever as we are.
But, sir, what do you think should be done?
What should be done?
Yes, sir.
Bake the girl a bun and feed her bread steeped in wine.
Why that, sir?
Those two elements entwine for sympathetic virtue, causing speech. You know, when they first begin to teach a parrot how to speak, that's what they feed them.
Oh, indeed. Some bread, some wine. We need them.
I'll come again tonight to see the patient. One moment, sir. Nurse needs some examination.
Who, me? I'm in the peak of perfect health.
So much the worse, so much the worse. Myself, I find such crude health cause for much concern. I should have known that this might come to this turn. A little bleeding might be of some prudence, or else an enema to help her with affluence.
I fear I don't quite follow you, good doctor. Why irrigate the girl if nothing's blocked her?
What's illness got to do with proper healing? These treatments strain a beneficial feeling. As one must drink to stave off thirst to come, so must we bleed to keep the illness from
Oh, sir, your medical knowledge may be really, really big. But I don't want to wind up under you as your guinea pig.
Alright. If on this medicine she is frowned, I might find another way to bring her around. Good day.
A moment, please.
What do you need?
I wish to give you money for your deed.
I couldn't take it.
Sir?
No, really.
Wait.
Not a sou.
Please.
Truly, I must take.
Oh, take hold.
I couldn't touch it.
Oh, please, for me.
I don't do this for money.
I can see.
Is it of full weight?
Oh, yes, sir. It is very.
You know, I'm not a mercenary.
I'm sure you're not.
I have no regard for gain.
No, I can see you're nothing of the strain.
That's not so bad. I never would have thought that this kind of cash could be quickly caught.
Excuse me, sir. I've been waiting for this chance to speak. Can you help?
Your pulse is very weak.
But I'm not ill. I don't need to be nursed.
Well, why did you not tell me that at first?
Okay, let me explain with greater haste. I am the young Leander, and I am faced with the loss of my Lucille, who her dad forbids me to see, and without her, I will go mad. So, sir, I've come to ask you man to man. Can you help me out with this plan?
What do you take me for? How tawdry, crass, to help you assail some innocent young glass? Would you ask a physician, join your league, to take part in some sordid sly intrigue?
Oh, sir, please don't raise your voice.
I shall. You come to me with plots and ploys.
What? But please, sir.
You foul-mannered freak!
Oh, but please, sir, please.
How dare you seek to insult me with your most crude request? To try to... Sir, that's how I redressed some other young man, less reverend than yourself, who might proceed with insolence and stealth. But you, sir, are a man of great esteem, and I would be quite proud to join your team. As some other young men look but to despoil, I tell you frankly, it makes my blood boil.
I'm sorry if I've been remiss.
Absurd. Now, how do we arrange this tryst?
Well, this illness that you're trying to treat is not how it looks. And all these doctors are trying to go by their books. Some say it comes from the brain, some say the spleen causes the pain, but some say it's the liver or the intestines. No, I have the answer for all their questions. This whole thing is nothing but an act, and the doctors are not aware of that little fact. The true cause for this is nothing but true love, and that's the only thing I think they're not aware of. Lucin, she's dumb because she's smart. She's trying to trick her dad, the old fart. But sir, you must not be seen in here with me. Let's go somewhere else, where we can talk of this more free.
I feel the strength of this affair already, and all other issues seem mean and petty. I'll stake my doctor's honor with this cry. The girl shall either be your own or die.
So, doctor, I will need an outfit that should make me into a rare apothecary, which is quite rare. And if the father, Geronte, were to see me or even glance at me, I would need a disguise to scream.
Quite true.
And could you also add some pepper to my speech so that it will be like adding salt? With some words of Latin, it will be like adding salt to a dish whose taste is lacking.
There's enough salt and pepper on your head. All we need to do is see how to get loosened into your bed. All we need is a wart on your face or two. Who in the blazes will recognize you? Besides, I know no more of this than you.
What?
Yes. To me, all this is rather new. I never reached the secondary school. And though I was not such a fool, they made me doctor over my objection. And so far, I seem to have passed inspection. In fact, the news of my degree has spread, and people seem to get in their heads that my advice might be a worthy thing. It matters not whether you succeed or fail, not even if the downfall is my fault. I do not bring the billing to a halt. A cobbler who spoils a piece of leather must pay for shoes he cannot stitch together. And yet, in our job, we may slash away, and no one will suggest that we ought to pay. A bit of sloppy work a life might take, but that is but the patient's bad mistake. The best of all, it's a dead's discretion. No one will talk of doctors' ill transgression.
Well, you know, the dead, they're so liberal in this respect.
Liberal? They are completely circumspect. Ah, there she is, my lovely darling nurse. In a fair medicine I would immerse. Ah, the sight of you, my dear, confounds my grief, as senna, cassia, rhubarb give relief.
Oh Lord, how I wish I knew Latin. I'd spend hours with you just chatting.
Oh, do be ill, nurse. Be ill for me. I will treat your body and neglect my fee.
Oh, I'm not suffering from any malady. Even if I were, I don't need you to cure me.
How your condition tears my heart when husband treats you like some wanton tart.
Thanks to the sins I made in my previous life, the heavens have cursed me to be his wife.
But with a lout like that, who's ever prying? Oh, such a bed cannot be for your lying.
Every breath I take, every move I make, every step I take, he's watching me.
Can't you see you belong to me?
Oh, how my poor heart aches with every vow he breaks.
Can it be true? Can a man with soul so base ill-treat a woman of such love and grace? Can such a man with such a disposition be blessed with lying in such a fond position? Why must a maiden of so fair a feature fallen with such a brutish, stupid creature, an animal, beastly, dull? Sorry. Excuse, it's of course your husband that I abuse, sir.
Oh, sir, you're stoking a long, forgotten fire. To say you don't interest me would make me a liar. But the only thing I fear is my husband's ire.
Dog. And better still, to tweak his nose, you ought to make it your most sacred mission to punish him with substance to suspicion.
If it weren't for this wedding band, I would run away with you hand in hand.
Why let tradition hinder your passion? Taking a lover is the latest fashion. You should take revenge upon his foul disposition. And let's do that. Jig jig boom booms in the missionary position.
Missionary position? How about... Ah! Lucas!